Welcome, everybody, to the Village Board meeting for June 22nd. At this time, I'd like to ask everybody to please stand for the pledge and remain standing for a moment of silence for our armed forces serving throughout the world. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, tonight we start off the evening with a public hearing. It's concerning introductory law, local law number 3 of 2017, solar generating facilities. Desiree, could you please read the notice?
Public hearing is being held to entertain public comments on introductory local law 3 of 2017 entitled Solar Generating Facilities by adding section 310-39.5 entitled Solar Generating Facilities to Article 5 entitled Supplementary Regulations within Chapter 310 entitled Zoning of the Code of the Village of Woodbury. The public notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on June 13, 2017.
Thank you. So with that, I'm going to go right out to the public. Anybody in the second row? Anybody in the third row? Anybody at all? Any board member have a comment? Okay. With that, could I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Desiree, could you please read the resolution?
Now therefore be it resolved that the local law constitutes an unlisted action pursuant to SECRA. The proposed local law has no significant adverse environmental impacts, and the Board of Trustees hereby issues a negative declaration, and the local law is hereby adopted as local law number 2 of 2017 entitled Solar Generating Facilities.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Mikolajczyk,
Aye.
Trustee Flood,
Aye.
Trustee Egan,
Aye.
Mayor Queenan,
Aye.
and Trustee Kraus is absent.
Okay, next up, administrative business. Could I have a motion to accept the minutes of our meeting held June 12, 2017?
Make the motion. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Des, can you please read abstract number 2?
Abstract number 2 contains voucher 170018 through 170183, and it totals $379,406.17.
Thank you. Motion to approve abstract 2.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve fire department equipment request 2017-7 through 2017-11 for various size hoses and lengths of hose, airlift bag, and necessary equipment for the new fire truck. In addition, a new chief's vehicle and all associated equipment and gear for that vehicle totaling approximately $91,746.32.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Fire Department membership application, motion to accept the membership application from Brandon Waisley for the Highland Mills Fire Company.
He has received his physical. This is an extra item. The First Assistant Chief asked us to get it on the agenda for this evening.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Des, can you spell that last name?
Wasley.
Thank you.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Old business, none. New business, Desiree, could you please read the resolution to schedule a public hearing?
This is to schedule a public hearing on introductory local law number 4 of 2017 entitled Zoning Amendments to amend Chapter 310 of the Village Code, amending the recertification provisions for wireless telecommunication facilities. Whereas the Village Board of Trustees wishes to set a time and place for a public hearing to consider a proposed local law that would amend Chapter 310 of the Village Code to amend a recertification process provisions for wireless telecommunication facilities. And whereas the Board of Trustees hereby determines that it will be lead agency with respect to the review of the proposed local law in accordance with SECRA and Part 617 of the regulations implementing SECRA, since there are no other agencies that have the authority to approve the project. The Board of Trustees preliminary classifies the action as an unlisted action under SECRA. Now therefore be it resolved that a public hearing shall be held by the Board of Trustees to receive comments and suggestions regarding proposed local law and to review any potential adverse environmental impacts on the proposed local law on July 13th, 2017 at 7 p.m. at Town Hall.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
And I just want to note that Attorney Naughton has prepared the county notification, is it GML
239.
239?
Okay, next up, we have a zone change request. So we're going to have a discussion on this. We have a property owner who has an application in front of the planning board for 9 townhouses. The application consists of 2 parcels, SBL 231-3-6.1 and SBL 231-3-6.2. One of the parcels, SBL 231-3-6.2, is in 2 different zones, the IB and the HB. The IB doesn't allow for townhouses. The petitioner is asking that we revise the district zoning lines so that all of the SBL 231-3-6.2 is in the HB zone. The proposal is consistent with our comprehensive plan. So before we have a discussion, I was just going to ask Stu. Stu, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
That was pretty thorough. I think you have a memorandum from both Dennis Lindsay's office and our office. It is consistent with the plan. When you were adopting zoning amendments several years ago, you had established a guideline to not to have zoning lines going through lots, and this one may have just been inadvertent. So that's one reason why it's a small area of this parcel is in a different zone. And the HB zone is consistent with the plan to allow residential development and more intense development in the hamlet area. So it's consistent. There are site plan issues the planning board will have to deal with. And so if you do decide to proceed, I would suggest, in fact, I think you'll have to do a intent to be lead agency, naming either yourself or assigning the planning board as, well, it would be yourself as the village board, but the planning board and the ZBA would also be involved agencies, because if the applicant wants to proceed with their current plan, there would be a density variance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking the village board should just deal with the issue of the zoning or revising the zoning lines and leave like the traffic study and other issues to the planning board, because they have the professional consultants that could really deal with that better than we can. All right, thank you, Stu.
Yeah, right.
Desiree, do you want to summarize? We got from the memo we got from our engineer, Dennis Lindsay, concerning this matter.
Yeah, in Stu's memo, he mentions about concerns in making sure that water and sewer service is available for that property. In Dennis's memo, he does state that there is an existing 4-inch water main on Falkirk Avenue that can provide adequate domestic water service, but it would not provide the needed fire flow for that use. And that in speaking with Administrator Mickey Phillips, who's here, he said he would prefer that the water main be extended to be able to handle the fire protection flow that's needed. He also said that the sanitary sewer there, Administrator Phillips has advised that the capacity there is capacity and it operates freely with no adverse maintenance conditions. And then there was a concern about the 100-year floodplain elevation, and the FEMA studies said that this area would be subject to flooding during intense events. So he feels that appropriate consideration for the flooding protection must be taken by the applicant. But again, I believe all that can be handled during the planning board stage.
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Thank you. Kelly, do you have anything you'd want to?
I did provide you with a memo as well regarding the procedure. If you choose to consider this zone change request, it would need to be done by a local law. I've provided you with a draft of the local law, which would amend the zoning map. And this also would require 239 referrals, so we would have to proceed with that as well.
Okay, but the 239, would the village board have to do a 239 on the zoning change, and then the planning board would also have to do a
Yes.
239? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Does the applicant want to say anything at this time? Have to go up to the mic and introduce yourself. Even though we know who you are, but the public doesn't.
And it even lights up. Great, thank you. My name is Dominic Cordisco, and I'm with the law firm of Drake Loeb in New Windsor. And I'm representing Marco Scalia, which is one of the principals of Genco, the owners of the property in question. And we've submitted the petition. It's fairly straightforward. Mr. Scalia would like to develop the property with 9 townhouses. I'm here with Michael Morgante as well as his engineer, and we have the plans. We could show you the plans as what's being proposed. We've already been through some preliminary conceptual reviews, and this project does require a zone change. It appears to be a holdover from the old zoning maps from the town, where the one of the lots is in basically 2 zones, and we're proposing to put all of the properties within the HB zone. One lot is already in the HB zone. One lot is in the HB and the IB zone. Townhouses are allowed use in the HB zone, so the desire is to put both lots completely within the HB zone. So with that said, we could show you what the layout of the plan is if you'd like to see it.
Well, I believe that's more of a planning board issue, but if my board would like to see it, I have no problem letting him present it. What's the pleasure of the board? Would they like to see?
I think maybe just from a visual perspective of what piece of the project would be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, it makes sense, because this is, I mean, what's driving the request is ultimately the desire for the development.
And just to note, you all received a copy of these plans previous to this meeting.
Yes.
It was all reviewed.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Morgante. I'm the project engineer for this particular project. More importantly, I'd like the board to focus on the actual location map. The location map, as shown on the plan, specifically shows where the property line is in relation to where the existing separation is between the HB district and the IB district. At that point, I'm going to leave the mic and approach the plan. So you can see here, there was a subdivision of this lot some time ago, and I think during the subdivision of that lot, when it was subdivided into 2 lots,
Yeah.
probably it's-
You're going to have to take the mic with you because
It moves.
You just hold on to it.
Hey, Mike, just pick it up. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. So if you take a look here, you'll see exactly where the dash line is right here that separates the HB and the IB zone. You can see that in all the other adjacent parcels, the HB zoning district line follows the property boundaries. And in this one particular case, there was probably some small oversight where it was excluded. And it makes sense that that small portion of that property that's in question be included in the HB district. We are proposing at this point, I think as of right now, zoning permits 7 townhouses on the site. We are pursuing potentially 9 townhouses if engineering provides that is sustainable. You can see that there's an entrance off of Falkirk. That entrance off of Falkirk descends into the site. The site is a little bit lower than Falkirk Avenue. We are very well aware of the flooding concerns in this area, and we'll address them as we move forward through the planning board stages. We will take into consideration certainly extending the water main located near the intersection of Falkirk and Smith Clove. And sewage disposal seems to be, or should have capacity in this area. There's a refuse enclosure shown there. We're able to provide adequate parking. From a conceptual plan stage, The project seems feasible, but again, there's definitely a lot of engineering and planning that needs to move forward to complete the project. But we can't get to that point until we work through this issue with the rezoning with the board, the village board.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Anybody on the board?
Nothing further
I
from me.
reviewed the plans, things look good.
Buddy?
No, I concur with what Tom just said, that I reviewed it, looked at it, I don't see any issues.
Tim?
I'm good.
The only concern I would have, and I mean, I don't have a problem with it either, but I think it's a must, and I'm sure the planning board will deal with this as they normally do with the water line. I think the water line would have to be, increased, the capacity for fire protection in the area.
Yeah,
So
Mike,
that-
I agree, too.
Yeah.
Uh,
That can't even be a question. I think that would have to be done.
You mean extending the water main for the fire
Yeah.
hydrant? I agree, I think we
So
all
they
agree
have
with that.
capacity to fight a fire. But I'm sure the planning board would deal with that anyway.
And the flood mitigation plan.
Yes, well. So, I mean, I think it makes sense that, they already have, that was part of our intent when we were doing a comprehensive plan, not to have zoning lines going through parcels. There have been a few that, escaped our eyes and went through the process, so every now and then, we're gonna have to correct them as they come about. So I have no problem moving forward with this and moving the SBL 231-3-6.2 totally into the HB zone. So unless anybody has anything else to say, I'm going to ask Desiree, can you please read the resolution that was prepared?
Whereas the Village Board of Trustees wishes to set a time and place for a public hearing to consider a proposed local law that would change the zoning designation for property located along Falkirk Avenue, Section 231, Block 3, Lot 6.2, from IB to HB, and to have the zoning map reflect such change. And whereas the Board of Trustees hereby determines that it will be the lead agency with respect to the review of the proposed local law in accordance with SECRA and Part 617 of the regulations implementing SECRA, but a coordinated review with the Planning Board and Zoning Board will be conducted as well. And whereas the Board of Trustees hereby preliminary classifies the action as an unlisted action under SECRA, and resolve that a public hearing will be held on July 13, 2017, at 7 p.m. to receive any comments and suggestions regarding the local law. And that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor?
Yes.
I don't think you're going to need a coordinated review because you're going to deal with the village board is just going to deal with the zone line change.
That's all.
Yeah,
All right, so
and I
I'll
think-
remove that
So that
section?
can come out of the
Yeah.
resolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything else would be the planning board. We're just dealing with the zone line, the revision to the zone
And
line.
Kelly, you'll handle the county? Yes. And Stu, you're going to get me the lead agency notifications? Your memo said that you would prepare those for me?
Well, yeah, it's, your resolution indicates that you don't have to do a coordinated review, so you won't have to send
do
it
that.
to anybody.
Okay, great. So there you go.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to do the July 13th, you said?
Yes.
Okay, unless there's anything else, I'm going to ask for a motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? I mean, we discussed it pretty much, but does anybody have anything else they want to add to that?
It's positive for the village.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Just to confirm, that's July 13th? That would be
Yes.
Thursday night? Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So that concludes our business for this evening, so I'm going to go out to the public now. Would anybody in the first row like to say anything? Anybody in the second row? Anybody in the third row? Anybody in the back? Anybody at all? Okay. Kelly, you have anything? Nope. Stu? Rob?
Yeah, just one thing. July 1st, which is next Saturday, the Highway Department will be hosting our Touch a Truck event from 5:30 to 8:30 at Monroe Woodbury Middle School, 199 Dunderberg Road. The Touch a Truck will be then followed by the fireworks will be after the Touch a Truck program at dusk at the same location.
Rob, will the new truck be there?
No.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant the fire truck.
Oh, the new fire truck?
No,
No, the new truck will be there, yeah,
Looks slick, yeah.
New fire truck won't be until October?
next year.
No. Okay, Buddy?
I just want to say congratulations to all our graduates out there. It's going to be a very busy weekend with graduations going on, so urge everybody to use caution, drive safely, and enjoy.
Thank you. Tom?
I second that. Let's hope they're safe driving. I'm sure certain restaurants will provide taxi service. I just want to say, hope everybody has a great holiday coming up too, so thank you.
Thank you. Tim?
I echo what Tom said. I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Desiree? Yeah, I did give you something.
Well, we mentioned this at the last meeting, but it wasn't recorded and no one was here, so I want to say it again because I'm quite proud of it. The village has received its first bond rating. We received a double A+, which is the second highest you can get, higher than the town, which is great. Yeah. And yesterday, the $3.6 million was deposited into our account from the bond. We got an excellent rating. The first 10 years is 2%, and the second 10 years is 3%, which is better than we anticipated. So Mickey can go spend some money now. And I was asked by the mayor to read this information from the Village of Harriman. They are going to begin a new community outreach program, which is a back-to-school supply drive. Their goal is to help in the aid of recycling school supplies and helping the less fortunate children in the community. As the school year comes to an end, they're asking that you reuse the different items that you've had for school, and they can be dropped off at the Village of Harriman on 1 Church Street in Harriman from Monday through Friday between 8 and 4, or at the Harriman Police Department on 1 Maple Avenue at any time. And they're going to be working closely with someone with the Monroe Berry School District to help the new and recycled supplies to get into the hands of children that need them most.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a very good cause for some people that need some help. And I think everybody, if you have some school supplies, extra supplies, or slightly used supplies, that'd be a great thing to do, is to make a contribution in the Village of Harriman. I just want to say I wish everybody a good 4th of July, happy and healthy summer, and to please be careful on the roads. A lot of people are out walking about in the evening. You know, they get home from work, they eat their dinner, they go out and they like to walk, so be careful driving. Slow down, the speed limit is 30 miles an hour, so please be careful. Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion? Sorry, buddy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you and good night.